Have you ever imagined a world where giant furry elephants roamed across frozen landscapes side by side with humans? That's not science fiction. It's the real story of the woolly mammoth, one of the most iconic creatures that ever lived. But before we dive into its incredible journey, don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, and leave us a comment. Your support keeps us exploring the most fascinating creatures in history. Earth sparkles. The woolly mammoth wasn't some mythical beast. It was a real animal, closely related to today's Asian elephants. In fact, if you stood a mammoth next to an elephant, the resemblance would be striking. But mammoths had one huge difference. They were perfectly adapted to survive in the Ice Age. Covered in thick, shaggy fur, with a layer of fat up to 10 centimeters, 4 inches beneath their skin, mammoths were built like walking tanks designed for freezing climates. Their small ears helped them conserve heat, unlike modern elephants with large ears used to cool down. And their enormous curved tusks, sometimes over 4 meters, 13 feet long, were used to dig through snow to reach grasses buried underneath. Mammoths lived across the Northern Hemisphere, Europe, Asia, and North America. They thrived in what scientists call the Mammoth Steppe, a cold, dry grassland that stretched for thousands of kilometers. Here, herds of mammoths grazed on grasses, herbs, and shrubs, shaping entire ecosystems much like elephants do today. They weren't solitary giants either. Mammoths lived in social herds, led by females, similar to modern elephants. Fossil evidence suggests they communicated with deep rumbles, trumpets, and vibrations that could travel long distances under the ground. But the woolly mammoth wasn't just another Ice Age animal. It was deeply connected to humans. Our ancestors painted mammoths on cave walls, carved their tusks into tools and art, and even built shelters from mammoth bones. To Ice Age humans, the mammoth was a source of food, clothing, shelter, and inspiration. It was both a symbol of survival and a reminder of the power of nature. So what happened? Why did these magnificent giants disappear? The truth is, scientists are still debating. Most evidence points to a combination of climate change and human hunting. Around 10,000 years ago, the Ice Age ended. Temperatures rose, ice sheets melted, and the grassy mammoth steppe gave way to forests and wetlands. The food sources mammoths depended on began to shrink. At the same time, humans were spreading across the globe, armed with advanced hunting tools. Mammoths, already stressed by a changing climate, became easy targets. It wasn't a sudden extinction, but a slow decline as population after population disappeared. The last known group of woolly mammoths survived much longer than most people realize. While most went extinct around 10,000 years ago, tiny populations clung to survival on remote islands. On Wrangel Island, north of Siberia, a group of dwarfed mammoths survived until just 4,000 years ago. That means while the Egyptian pyramids were being built, there were still living mammoths walking the earth. And here's where the story takes a fascinating twist. Because today, scientists are seriously asking, could we bring the woolly mammoth back? Thanks to incredible advances in genetics, researchers have sequenced the mammoth's DNA using frozen remains found in Siberian permafrost. By comparing mammoth DNA to that of Asian elephants, scientists are identifying the exact genes responsible for traits like thick fur, small ears, and cold resistance. One ambitious project, led by Harvard geneticist George Church and supported by biotech company Colossal, is working to create a hybrid mammothant. The idea is to edit elephant DNA with mammoth traits, producing a new animal adapted to cold climates. The hope? To one day release them into Arctic tundra, where they could help restore lost ecosystems and even slow climate change by knocking down trees and keeping grasslands alive. It sounds like science fiction, but it's happening right now. Of course, not everyone agrees. Some scientists argue that de-extinction is risky and raises ethical questions. Should we spend resources bringing back mammoths when so many living species are endangered today? And even if we succeed, would a recreated mammoth truly be a mammoth or just an elephant with a few cold weather genes? These are questions we don't yet have answers for. But one thing is clear, The woolly mammoth is more than just an extinct animal. It's a symbol of survival, adaptation, and loss. It reminds us of the deep connection between humans and nature, how our actions, combined with climate change, can shape the destiny of entire species. And perhaps in the near future, the mammoth might also become a symbol of something else: humanity's ability to undo the past and give life a second chance. So here's the big question. If scientists really could bring the woolly mammoth back, should we? Or should we leave the past where it belongs? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our next deep dive into the most extraordinary stories of the animal kingdom. Elephant, snowflake, sparkles.